I'm Von Linsington, it's Wugle Wednesday, and today we're going beyond plus ultra with All Might. As with most Wugles, I've started with a base Wugle shell. I'll prepare some thin strands of clay by using my garlic press. These will come in handy for making hair. I'm also going to roll out some clay. I want 2 different thicknesses, so I'll roll out the thicker one first, cut out a piece big enough to work with and put that aside, and then continue rolling the rest down until it's very thin. As you can see, it's so thin that I have to be very careful not to rip it. But I do anyway. After I get the clay nice and even, I'm going to cut out the gauntlets. It's basically just a wide triangle, and the longest part of the triangle just has to wrap around the Wugle's arms. After I cut one and make sure that it's sized right, I just place it on top of my rolled out clay and use it as a stencil to cut another one. Wrap each gauntlet around the Wugle's arms. And then press them into place with a needle tool. After that, cut out 2 small triangles, and I angle these out a little bit. And then add 1 triangle piece to the back of each gauntlet. Next is hair, and I'm taking the clay strands from the garlic press and rolling them down even thinner. And once I have a bunch of ultra thin strands, I start in the middle center and I start placing the strands of hair one by one. I place the tapered end carefully in the front for the hairline, and then in the back you can either trim each piece as you go, or you can just cut the whole thing at the end. To stray a little from my usual Wugle design here. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out, but as All Might says, whether you win or lose, you always come out ahead by learning from the experience, so I'm gonna make some eyebrows. Using the thin clay again, I'm carefully cutting out a unibrow shape, and then trimming it in 2, and then cutting it down until it looks like 2 decent eyebrows. and then I use the needle tool to help me stick them into place and scratch some detail into them. Now to go back to that thick cut of clay I put aside from earlier. First cut a rough triangle and then cut that into kind of a V. A curvy V. And I have some more thin strands of clay rolled out, and I ended up cutting that V in half so that I could better shape these turbo bangs. So take some short tempered strands and add a few to each side of these bangs and pinch them at the bottom. Once you're happy with it, press it into place. When this is done on both sides, weirdly enough, we're finished sculpting. The rest of the detail comes on when we paint it. It's a little different from what I would normally do, but 99% of the time that All Might is in this form, he doesn't have eyes. So I wanted to experiment with a different approach to see if this comes out looking a little bit more like All Might, or maybe I'll find that I should have stuck to my usual make oval eyes and put 2 pupils on them, but we will see. To paint All Might, I'm using glossy paints for his gauntlets and his super suit, and flat paints for the skin and hair, and that way the yellow on the gauntlets and the yellow on the hair look different. While I'm speed painting, this is a great time for you to subscribe, ring the bell, drop me a like, or leave a comment down below. I'm always listening to your suggestions for which characters to make next. These videos take a while to make, but keep an eye out because your suggestion could be next. I decided to paint shadows over where the eyes should be. Gray first, and then some slanted, thin black lines. Is this cute or creepy at this point? I've lost the ability to tell. And to finish it off, of course, we have to paint a big smile. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.